This video is to show you how you can mask off quite a complex area. Those sorts of images with flyaway hair, and I've got a few models here for you to have a look at. And if I just enable the mask, I've done this, not spent a lot of time on it at all. If I put a background in, you can kind of see. If I spent a little bit more work on it, I could have got it a lot more accurate. But you can see that when I mask these against the background, it's done a fairly good job of those things that can end up looking quite hideous if you try and cut them out yourself, either using the pen tool or the selection tools. So I've just got one more here. Let's enable the mask. Spent a little bit more time on this one, and you can see it works pretty good. So I'm going to start off by choosing the size of image that I want to use, and I'm going to work with A4 landscape, and I can either file place or drag in the image that I want to work with. I'm just going to do a simple one, and let's stretch her so she fits in. Okay, so the idea is to remove the background, and I can replace it with any background that I choose. So initially what I'm going to do is just change the colour of this background by putting on a colour overlay. So you can see at the moment there's definitely nothing there. We've got a background on the image. Let's make that a little bit stronger. And deeper. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this image, and it's very simple. What you do is you just basically select. So I'm using my lasso selection tool, and what I want to do is I want to draw inside and around her body shape, and I want to include everything I can see, but I don't want to go right to the edge. Okay, so I'm going to come in here, but I don't want to get too close to anything that's got background in it. So watch what I include and what I exclude as well. So I'm going to go up here, leaving about 0.5 centimetre all the way around, and then I'm just going to bring it along and join it up. So that's the kind of shape that I want to make, and I know it looks terrible at the moment, but it's going to be amazing how easy it is to do it. So I'm going to select a mask. So whenever I use that lasso tool, you'll see I get the option to select a mask. If you don't get the option, it's only because you're not on the actual image. So just make sure that you've got the image selected, and then you will get the option to select a mask. So I'm going to click it. Here you'll get a dialog box of properties, and really what I'm concerned about is a couple of things. First of all, this is just simply opacity. Now that's just showing me the masking, okay, and it's showing me the area that I've selected. You've got these viewers, so you can look at it as what's known as an onion skin, so you could see through your mask. You can look at it as marching ants, like a selection, and so on and so on. I think the onion skin is quite good, so I'm going to leave it on onion skin. And I'm going to leave the transparency down so you can see what's happening. I'm going to leave everything else as it is. What I'm going to do is to choose this tool up here, Refine Edge Brush Tool, and make it a suitable size so it kind of covers everything. And then I'm just going to simply draw. And you can see it's trying to gather in all the edges that look kind of similar. So sometimes it misses a few. There you go. And I can either correct that now as I'm doing, or I can go in and affect the mask later on. The next thing I need to do is just to simply output. So I'm going to output to new layer with mask. So it will duplicate the image and it will apply a mask in the shape of my selection. So I'm going to do that and then say OK. And now you'll see, if I disable the mask, you'll see that's the background. I'm disabling it, by the way, by just right-clicking on the mask and clicking back on it. Now, what I can see is there's a little bit of pink here, so I'm going to go into the mask and I'm just going to use my eraser tool in the mask just to fix any bits. Now, if it goes the opposite way, I'm going to hit X on the keyboard. Just make sure my opacity is up. And there's just a bit that it missed. So I'm just going to go in and reinforce this a little bit. Down here as well. That's her arm. So just reinforce anything that's missed, but don't come too near the edge. It's going to do all the edge work for you. Okay. So now I'm just going to come in and change the color here so you can just see the hair against a color. I'm going to bring in another image so you can see the hair against an image. So I'm going to place embedded and let's have a look. Let's bring in the desert. So you can see it's done a pretty good job, and if I really checked it, I would have spotted maybe this little area down here, but it's done quite a good job of masking the hair without me putting too much effort into it. So that's one of my favourite top tips.